and all this stuff. It was like her bill was gonna be like about $600, and he said like, yeah, just go ahead and get rid of your stuff. And I'm like, man, that woman did not, you came back the next day, and I'm like, oh my god, like that woman didn't know what the hell to do. She got hot spot, jetpack, iPads, and the phone, to do, and they do in the stores. They know that the treat people get treated that way. They do that whole thing where they're like, hey, make sure we treat everybody with integrity. Now look, you need to hit this record at the end. We don't care what the fuck you do. You just go ahead and hit
Right.
it. Son of a bitch. They're like, no, we all about integrity and stuff. And they're like, no, you're not.
You know. You would be surprised what people would do to make sure they hit their quota and they get their commission for that month. So I do believe some people will sell their soul just to make that quota. All right, next letter. So I am at Yankee Stadium today, Yankees versus Astros, and it's hot as hell. But luckily, our seats are in the shade. We are a group of 6, 5 adults, 1 child. Now, to be fair, none of us are Yankees or Astros fans, but we all love baseballs, and the tickets were a gift. Our seats were great. 200 aisle seats. I don't know what the heck that means, but anyway, along the third baseline and thankfully in the shade. 4 of us get up to go to the bathroom, and while we are gone, a family of 4, a mom and 3 kids, sits in our empty seats. The remaining 2 in our group tell the mother that those seats are taken, and she ignores them completely. We come back, tell her these are our seats, and she says you weren't here and the kids are hot. We need to sit in the shade. And she turned away. I told her I didn't care. And she could move or I could go to the usher and tell her, and the usher could tell her to move. Excuse me. She calls me a bitch and gets up. I thought that would be the end of it, but no. She goes and tells the usher that we took her seats. The usher asks to see our tickets and confirms that they are indeed our seats and asks to see her tickets. And she just storms off with her kids, complaining about how rude we are. The level of entitlement on some people is wild. Hot wash.
All right, so all I'm gonna say is, I want to get to the part of the stores where they ask, "Am I the a-hole?" This was a justifiable encounter. You did what you had to do. She moved how she moved, and you moved how you moved. I don't think there was anything that could have been done differently. I mean, anybody who had a temper probably could have found a few things to do differently, and I ain't gonna name those people, but I think you handled it properly, and it says a lot about how the people who feel like they're entitled to things just because they, oh, well, nobody was here, so I just grabbed it. But are those your seats? Are those seats not numbered? I'm pretty sure those seats are numbered. If you knew that wasn't your seat, but you think that it's just gonna be yours just because you said it's gonna be yours, and you calling somebody names. Now, if I would have put my hands on you, I'd be wrong. But
Won't put her hands on the cheek.
this person was very calm, cool, collected, dealt with it the way that it should have been dealt with. I'm very proud of you, patting on the back. Good job. Keep up the good work.
Cause I'd have cussed you slam out. Go ahead, Dale.
Y'all don't want me to go because I would have just gave it to a just raw dog in the face. Like, who you talk to, Karen? Bye, Karen. Bye. See you. Don't come over here think your entitlements. No, ma'am. No, no, ma'am. It's 2025 and my ancestors said no. And my mama, 6-foot white woman, she said no too. Bye, Karen.
Lovely.
I think it was a justified behavior, even though that's not something I would do, but it's justified. I give it.
Yeah. Listen. Like Hot Wash said. The oppa didn't cuss her out. I'd have cussed the slam out. Especially you gonna call me a bitch and you in the wrong. Go ahead, Whitney.
Meet me outside because I'm going to jail after this.
Gonna try to take my seats. Chicago. Julia.
Well, I had a situation like that, and I wasn't in the wrong. So what I said, I went to the circus and I sat in some seats, and I told her. She said, "Oh," I said, "No, I know." I said, "This is not my seat, but do you mind if I stay here until the people come?" And the usher was like, "Well, you'll have to move. That's fine." So I moved. But when you
Mhm.
know clearly your seats, you picked your seats. You knew your seats were in the sun.
Right.
So that's on you. Your seat's in the sun. You gonna have to sit in the sun or go buy another ticket. And sometimes if you're just nice to people in general, the lady may have said, "Well, you know what, my kids can sit on the lap. Y'all welcome to sit here because I don't want the kids in the sun." But if you come off popping off in the beginning, it's just a situation. And then your children, what's the example you set for your children to
Thank
act like
you.
that?
Thank you. And not only that, Julia, the thing for me is the two family members that didn't go to the bathroom told them somebody's sitting here and she just ignored it. So you asked for this. This is your fault. And then the thing about and when the usher come, you don't want to show them your tickets. You know what the heck your seat was. Go ahead, Bo.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I was having to finish.
I'm,
You can come after me.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm like everybody else, but I don't think I would sound it off because the usher came and solved it. Now, if the usher had came and looked at me crazy instead of looking at her crazy, that's when I would have had a problem. As long as the usher is cool, as long as my tickets are cool, as long as my family that's still there is cool, I'm cool.
I hear you. I hear you. I wouldn't have touched her, but I'd have cussed out because she called me a bitch and she knew she was in the wrong. I hear you.
Well, well, I get called the B word probably
I
daily
get it.
because I'm the admin of the company, and when I have to tell somebody no, they usually are with the little faces, whatever. You can go over there and be upset when they say, can I get on his calendar?" Well, he has no room on his calendar for the rest of the week. You can try next week. No, I need to see him this week. Well, I'm sorry to have to say no. So I get called the B word daily. It doesn't bother me.
All right. Melvin in Chicago.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Hey, fam.
What's so the game was in New York.
Yeah. I mean the
I
Yankees.
never heard of I never met a really nice and cordial New Yorker.
She said Yankee Stadium. That's New
Yeah,
York.
I have never heard of a nice New Yorker. Say pardon me or anything like that. They just do what they want to do. Um, yeah, she did the right thing, but cooler heads prevail because she did the right thing. It's just that ignorance and because she went to go seem like she was a victim and they took her seats, but then come to find out the real world and she lost that game, and she could have said, do you mind if my kids sit there just for a couple of seconds? I know these seats are taken, but he's hot or he or she's hot. No, go ahead. But when they come back, you got to get up. What is so hard about that to ask? And but and she storms off. She set a really bad example to her kids because when a
Mm-hmm.
kid comes up now, and also if a kid calls her a bitch, she gonna try to knock her head off from her shoulders. So it's just like, yo, you know, kids learn from you, from the parents. You gotta show respect and teach them respect and how to conversate and ask for a favor because it can go along with, you know what, man, you know what, you got two more innings. Hey, why don't you sit here in the shade? I'll go sit in your chair. It could have worked like that, but no.
Um, Raymer says she should have took them kids to go get some water if they were hot. Um, Gen X, put your snaps in the camera if you own the camera. If you know, just off what Melvin said, I learned it by watching you. Y'all know what I'm talking about. I'm learning by watching you. All right, Chicago, go ahead.
Yeah, I love sneaking around and getting seats and all that stuff. And if you get caught or you in somebody's seat, just get up and if you know you're wrong, just get up and just admit that it's okay. I mean, we all human. Like if I was in somebody's seat and somebody like, hey, I'm like, ah, damn, I thought you were gone. All right, no problem. End the story. But then to cause a scene, excuse me, it's cause a scene, call that lady a bitch, and then go get the usher. I mean, really? I mean, who
Right.
does that? That's some bullshit. Now, granted, I'm back with Dale. I don't even know why she put this on this page. Maybe they just, I don't know, they just wanted some brownie points or something. Now, looking at you like, what the heck? You know what we all gonna say?
Right.
What's wrong with you? And then when it comes to the kids and all that stuff, and you want to be an asshole like that, I don't give a damn about you. Fuck them kids too. You and your kids. Y'all can go. I hope I see them on one of those commercials when in the eye of an angel with you just for only 7 cents a day you can help save some Karen ass lady and her children.
Yo,
And I will just gladly turn the channel with the flies on the eyeballs and everything. Just go ahead, just like eat them. All right. Yeah,
you made me sick. But yeah, that was my thing. You double down in your wrongness. You know these wasn't your seats. You go get the usher, come back, and when the usher asked to see your tickets, you walk the freak off. You double down. Hot watch. Did I say what you was getting ready to say? I'm sorry, but did you have anything else to add to it?
Dang.
I'm sorry.
I said every time we go back and forth, we do this every day. But no, that's essentially what I wanted to say. It's the audacity for me. It will always be the audacity for me because every time you see one of these situations, it's almost as if you know you're wrong, but you feel like it's not the fact that they know they're right. They know they're wrong, but they feel like with their entitlement that they're going to be able to get somebody on their side. And if they're able now usually it's people calling 5 up. It's usually people calling cops. But in this instance, I really do believe in her tiny delusional mind. She thought that the usher was gonna back her up. And it's just, for me, every time you come across these situations, it's like, you when have you ever won in this situation? Like, is this how you've been getting by in life? You just cry and whine and stump your feet and you get whatever you want. And it's everywhere. It's not just, it's manifesting itself everywhere, and it's quite delusional. And I just almost want to know, like, where is the mindset at? Do you think that if you do that, it's going to work for you every single time? Because more and more it's starting to become a thing where you're not winning. You're not winning. You're not gonna win. It's just common sense at this point, but I guess not.
Jamaica said I'll wind you up. Go ahead. Go ahead, Mel.
As the old saying goes, you never get what you always want in life. So she just learned that experience where just because you ask doesn't always mean that you're gonna get something.
Right. And I at first I was gonna say, you know who it is and you know who it ain't, but I don't know. I'm gonna leave it at that.